The first season of Bubuki Buranki had a multitude of problems. It managed to entertain me enough to finish the series, but I couldn't recommend that others watch the show. Unfortunately, the second season is exactly like the first. I'm Banana Owens, and this is an Otaku Youth Anime Review. The story picks up right where the last season ended. Treasure Island fell into the ocean, and a new organization led by a man named Geese seeks to control the Buranki that are on Earth. The second season actually has some positives that I would like to get into before I talk about the many negatives. There is some genuine world building in this season, and I found this highly entertaining. There's an actual explanation for the presence of these giant robots on Earth, and this origin actually works. The series also shifts focus to put more emphasis on the Buranki fights. The plethora of Buranki now active actually results in fights that are not only more plentiful, but are also more interesting. Giant robots punching each other will never get old. I actually like Guy as the villain as well. He does some pretty dastardly stuff in comparison to the silly tone the series has. As for the negatives, the plot is still mostly nonsensical. The motivations of certain characters just do not make sense. The actions of characters at times can only be considered to be stupid. Kazuma's decision to walk to the enemy's base ranks as one of the dumbest decisions a character could make. These problems are exactly the same as the ones in the first season, but the overall quality would be higher if it were not for one new character. Kaoru is one of the most annoying anime characters I've had the displeasure to watch. She is a brat with a flamboyant personality that seems to never let up for a second. It's a shame considering she is Kazuma's sister. Her background had the potential to be very interesting, but they didn't manage to go down that route. Kaoru acts the way she does because she was left behind as Kazuma and his dad travel the world. For character motivations, this does not exactly come across as compelling considering giant robots are attacking while this tragic backstory is being explained. Overall, this series pretty much maintains the same quality of the story as the first season, but with added Buranki battles. Again, the same problems arise. The 3D animation works very well for the Buranki, but can come across awkwardly for the human characters. The frame rate also maintains its choppy nature during the more heavy action scenes. This is a shame because the highlight of this series is the action. The action sequences still manage to be great though. The choreography is perfectly planned to suit the abilities of each Buranki. The drastically different Buranki also manage to create some truly interesting fight scenes. It's a shame that the story does not live up to these same standards though. The sound design is also bland. With the exception of the Buranki fights, there is nothing that stands out in regarding to the sound. The opening is generic, the voice acting is average, and the music used in the series is mediocre. I don't have anything more to say other than the sound design was just unimpressive. This series was entertaining enough that I finished the season, but that's not saying much. Between the awful story and characters, it really isn't worth it. The only saving grace is the action, and even that is limited by some technical issues. I give Bubuki Buranki, The Gentle Giants of the Galaxy, my don't watch rating. I'll be back next week for another review, and thanks for checking this one out.